What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topics, tweets, videos y'all want me to talk about tomorrow? A popular YouTuber by the name of Wilbur Scoot is apologizing because his ex-girlfriend is claiming he abusively bit her. A 73-page lawsuit document just dropped and it implies that P. Diddy was sexually involved with both Meek Mill and Usher. More on that later. Bitcoin has just passed $60,000 the first time in years and shows no sign of slowing down. I'll explain why later. Nintendo is suing popular emulator Switch Yuzu. Here's how that affects you as a gamer. And the bizarre Glasgow Willy Wonka experience disaster just happened, where pictures of an Oompa Loompa and a meth shop is now going viral. All of that and a lot more. We got the Pokemon Presents to let you know what's going on with that. And yeah, my last video, if you didn't see it on Monday, is because it got age restricted. Yeah, I think I talked about the airman thing and I wasn't supposed to, and YouTube kind of put that bad boy behind an 18 plus 21 plus wall. So if you didn't see Monday's video, it's because YouTube said nah. Let's start with this absolutely wild news, okay? Oompa Loompa and Willy Wonka is trending with hundreds of thousands of tweets and is an absolute crazy shit show. Spooking a lot of you guys asked me to touch on this really quickly. Okay, I said the Willy Wonka shit is mad funny, okay? And there's a tweet here by Culture Crave that says police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience after families showed up to an empty warehouse. The event reportedly charged $40 for entry, advertised with AI art, and said it would be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises. Come with me and you'll see something world of fear and inebriation. Oh, so it sounds like it was like the Fire Festival. Remember the Fire Festival when people were like, hey, come to this festival, we're all gonna have a good time, and then everyone just basically like starved and it was like people's lives were in danger? We got the same thing going on, but with Willy Wonka and AI art. Please tell me it's not so. I need to know what's going on. Here are pictures of the AI art that they were using to show it off. It says, quote, kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be a magical experience. Oh my gosh, only to find out, guys, this is what they ended up seeing. What? This is the Willy Wonka factory? Oh my God. See, look, if I'm a parent and I walk in and I see this, I'm out, right? Or I'm calling the police, or I'm getting my money back or something. But these people actually like walked in. There's right here, you see a bunch of like old tables for what? There's not even food that I can see being served. And if it was, I wouldn't eat it. There's a moon bounce over to the left. Oh my God, this looks like, what is this, bro? There's a little sign here you can walk in with a... What was that game that came out the day after tomorrow where they're like, oh yeah, this game is going to be absolutely amazing, and then you buy the game and it's just complete garbage? This feels like what this is, but like in real format. They have a picture here on the wall. Oh yes. If I look at this wall right here of all of this Willy Wonka AI stuff, then I can see myself in the Willy Wonka experience. Just all the pictures, it's just... Oh, there's no, like every kid walking in here, even if you're like a 2-year-old kid, even if you weren't born, you would be able to see past this charade. But this is how they entertain themselves, entertaining entertainment. Cat-cading live performance, cartoon tunes, exacerbating lollipops of paradise, a sweet treats. Had the Willy Wonka indulge in a chocolate fantasy like never ever before. Like this was... Oh my God. Imagine thinking that you're coming into this and then you walk into a freaking like factory that's like probably cold and barren. But even better than that is watching the sequel to Breaking Bad, the version they don't want to talk to you guys about, where this Oompa Loompa appears to be conducting experiments in another Snapchat. This picture is going viral right here because it looks like this Oompa Loompa is sitting here creating a freaking meth lab.
Oh my God. What is that? It's the end.
Why is this person here, bro? There's got to be something good about the event, right? There's lemonade bubbles. Are you thirsty? Do you want lemonade? Well, sorry. Look at the cups. Bro, the cups of lemonade are like not even 1/8 filled, bro. What? It doesn't even look like it's yellow. It looks like it's just water, bro. Guys, it was an absolute mess. The internet is having a ball. A lot of people are trying to investigate what was happening. People were saying that Kate Middleton showed up. People were trying to see the conspiracy theories. You can just hear the kids crying. There's more TikToks of people talking about how terrible it was. The internet is having a blast just making fun at this entire Willy Wonka experience that was AI generated and created. Absolutely hilarious. What a deep dive. I'll let you guys know if anything comes from it. What's going to happen to them? Like, are they going to get sued? Like, is the police getting involved? I don't know, but They had to know like they were going to get got. But guys, before we get further into today's topics, I'm happy to announce that today's video is sponsored by Dbrand. Dbrand is a company that excels in making heavily customized accessories for electronic devices. Phones, laptops, gaming systems, controllers, AirPods. If you can think it, they definitely have it. But you guys already knew that, so let's just cut to the chase, okay? There's a reason why Dbrand is the official partner of this channel and has well over 10,000 5-star reviews across the internet. Great quality, great product, great customer service, and thousands of unique designs and options. Literally that simple. And as you guys already know, Daddy Dbrand has become this channel's first official partner, okay? They're supporting me for the entire 2024 year. They're glowing me up with all their cases. They want me to show you all their cool stuff. So when you guys need that new phone case or laptop cover, you guys can shop through Dbrand through me, and you will be supporting the channel. You'll be you'll be supporting me directly. So yeah, guys, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below or go to https://dbrand.com/omni. Take a really good look at all the cool stuff they got, okay? You'll absolutely love it. And again, thanks to Dbrand for sponsoring today's video. Guys, this story is absolutely crazy too. I don't know if you've been following this whole P. Diddy thing that's been going on for the past couple of weeks or months, okay? Just recently, we talked about it too as well here. He paid off a person millions of dollars in hush money and settlement when they were basically suing him for basically sexually exploiting them. It was a really bad situation, and more people keep coming out to talk about their experience with P. Diddy, where now people are comparing him to R. Kelly. It reads here, according to a 73-paper document, Diddy allegedly had sexual relations with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. What people are implying is Meek Mill, and a singer who performed at the Super Bowl who also has a Vegas residency, which people are implying is Usher. The 73-page document is absolutely freaking insane. There are photos. The person has video evidence. It's pretty freaking disgusting. There are pictures of him actually making out with underage people and workers.
Guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and damn, pause, but like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. That was fucking stupid.
Like, all right, I think the funny part is like Kevin Hart is saying what everyone's thinking, right? Usher's just like, and then like P. Diddy over here acknowledging that he was wrestling with a 10-year-old while he was 19. Those of you guys who don't know why the 73-page document even exists, producer Lil Rod accused Diddy of sexual assault and harassment. This is like the third or fourth, I think, lawsuit or accusation that's come out about P. Diddy that a lot of famous people are talking about. He accused him of racketeering activity. Okay, this isn't just like, P. Diddy is gay. Like, yes, everybody probably knows and their moms that P. Diddy has sex with men. Okay, nobody cares about that. The problem, it sounds like, is that it was actually at points either violent or racketeering or trafficking, or him in some cases actually dealing with like little kids. The evidence seems to be just stacking and stacking up.
I just read the court documents about the allegations from Lil Rod about Diddy, and it looks like Epstein level exposing of the rap industry right now. It names names. He has photos. He has physical evidence. He has
Videos,
audio recordings, literally everything from Diddy being involved in murders, Diddy being involved in sexual assault, grooming, drugging people. It even goes so far to name Cuba Gooding Jr. as being involved in all of this. It has some redacted names. They seem to be about Meek Mill and Chris Brown, but again, they're redacted, so you can't be 100% sure, but the things that are said about them seem to indicate that those are the people that they're talking about, and indicating that those people were having sex with underage girls. There is a whole bunch of allegations of how Diddy would use his positions of power to sexually assault males and then blackmail them into not saying anything because obviously like homophobia inside the rap industry is very prevalent. So the allegations are that he would blackmail people underneath him by saying like, oh, I recorded this and I will show it to everybody. If even 10% of what is alleged inside of this court document is true, they need to put Diddy under the jail. And 50 Cent is going to have the best time talking about this over the next month.
Wow. So yeah, guys, absolutely insane. I'll keep you guys updated on how this situation unfolds. My guess is it's going to get settled again for millions and millions of dollars. How much money is P. Diddy going to be able to spend for hush until someone's actually looking into this like criminally, or he's getting indicted or investigated? Because this is turning, oh my, we are going to be finding things about the rap industry like in spades over the next couple of weeks or months. Some of your favorite rappers and people might have been doing some really, what they probably were. It's just now finally getting exposed. And I'll let you guys know as that progresses what those developments are, man. But good Lord, bro, it is wild out on these streets. So guys, a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about the Wilbur Scoot situation. This guy was trending with over 700,000 tweets yesterday and counting when, well, not even just yesterday, over the past 2 days. If you guys watched Monday's video, which you probably didn't because it got rage restricted, but at the end of the video, I was going to talk about the Wilbur Scoot situation. His ex-girlfriend Shubble actually made a video talking about the accusations and her involvement with him, talking about how he used to just bite her aggressively and violently. I'm talking like love bites gone wrong, okay? They had apparently like safe words when it came to just playing around. And if you guys don't know, when it comes to these kind of sexual things, safe word is very healthy and good because it lets you kind of know that if you ever start doing things that are a little bit risky or a little bit maybe damaging or hurting or something, the safe word said stop. This is not. This is the part where it's no longer fun or consensual, and it sounds like he kept going anyway, according to Shubble and a lot of the allegations. And ever since then, he has now made an apology. People who were his friends have come out and responded to it and said that they're distancing themselves from him, and everything seems to be going extremely south for Wilbur. Okay, but he also seems to be holding on to some information that he said he's not going to disclose. So I'm going to walk you through what you need to know about this situation. If you guys don't know, popular musician and Minecraft YouTuber Wilbur Soot is being outed as an abuser. Jinx and a lot of you guys have been giving me like all the information, but I've also been kind of looking into this as well. Before I get to the apology here that's been done by Wilbur Soot, I want to show you guys the video that sparked it, which was Shubble. It was a stream, so I won't show you the entire stream because it's extremely long, but I will show you the important parts where she makes the exclamation.
There was this one time that he pinned me down and asked me to try my absolute hardest to get him off of me, and I couldn't do it, obviously. And he said something to make the point that he was so much stronger than me that I wouldn't be able to fight him back. Fight back against what? What do you mean? You don't say shit like that to people?
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Dog.
And I was also sexually assaulted by my first boyfriend, and he knew that.
Again, this all falls down to consent, right? And safe words, okay? People are going to be in the bedroom and they're going to do some nasty things, okay? That's just, you know, what some people do. But number one, okay, you know that the girl that you're dating previously was assaulted and you want to talk and joke about that? That's a huge red flag and a super hell no, okay? No safe word even needed there for that kind of context. That's already just freaking super creepy. But two, the safe word is being used and you're not that... all of this smells like just literally just inconsensual.
Silence has always brought me peace, and this time it feels like my silence is not keeping my peace. It's only keeping somebody else's peace. And I never thought that I could be the kind of person to end up in a situation like I did. I never thought that could happen to me. And so for me, this is important because it could help anybody else see the signs sooner than I did. I believe that people like this are genuinely dangerous. I believe he is dangerous. He was willing to lie. He was willing to do harm to someone he claimed to love more than anyone he has ever loved. His actions escalated. And I don't think that I'll be the last person that he hurts. And I felt like sharing my story was really important to warn people. I want people to see the signs that I refused to. I want you to listen to your body, and get out as soon as possible. Tell your friends the truth and let them help you. I truly feel now that my soul is so healed. I am light years beyond him. This was the last thing that I felt like I needed to do. That's my cat. Before I could move forward and hopefully never talk about him ever again, outside of maybe my stories that I want to tell about other shitty things he did anonymously, mixed in with the other stories I still have of shitty things that shitty exes did, because I think it's important for us to share our stories and our experiences. I think it's important for all of us to know that we deserve so much better than this.
I didn't interrupt her because I just kind of wanted it to be seamless there. So she, just giving her the platform so you guys can hear her, because she wants to be heard with her experiences about Wilbur. And yeah, she has been claiming that this guy is a menace and is probably going to be a menace in the future when it comes to other women as well.
Needed him to really stop biting so hard. I didn't like it, and I tried telling him over and over again because he wasn't actually trying at all to not hurt me. But he said he would try at first. And then he started saying things like it was my pain tolerance that was too low, or I'm exaggerating how much it actually hurts. He's not even biting that hard. I'm being dramatic. But his biting escalated to a point where I was covered in bruises all over my arms, and they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun. And he even felt so comfortable showing off my bruises that he had caused to our friends because he would bite me so hard by accident. By accident, he would even joke that it looked like he abused.
Wow. Joke that he would be. What the hell is wrong with this? I understand these are just her allegations. This is her side of the story. But if this is true, like what in the heck? Why would you even joke about this being signs that you're abusing someone while hurting them when they were also a previous sexual, what in the goddamn ham fat? Okay, so this is her claims. This is her side of the story. She has talked more about this situation on her stream in full depth if you guys want to see it. But it did eventually lead to a point where Wilbur himself, Wilbur Soot, came up here and made a tweet talking about the situation. It's always important when these things happen, right? You hear one side of the story, you take it seriously, and you believe them, but also you also want to wait to hear the other side of the story as well to see what people will have to say. You want to get the full story, okay? You want to, when people make these kind of accusations and these stories, you want to take it very, very seriously, and you want to believe that they're not lying to you, but also you want to hear the other side of the story so you can get the kind of the full picture, because that's just what you should be doing when it comes to things like this. So here is Wilbur's response. He said, in the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. What do you mean by their feelings are valid? Is that like a confirmation that how they feel and what they think is true? Or are you just trying to say they should feel that way? This already seems like that's valid, as in they're just not going to dispute it. I've taken my time sharing this statement as I wanted to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding for the situation. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. These actions caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend, and I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors, making significant lifestyle changes to rectify my past actions. Define slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish, because those seem like pretty nice adjectives compared to what she was using. Like, she was saying that you were abusive, saying that you bit her to the point where it left bruises, and then you would make fun of it being abusive. Like the adjectives he's using here, slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish, is not the extreme adjectives that probably should be being used here. Continuing though, he said, I have come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly compassionately believe that I've made great strides from the person I once was and hope I can continue to grow and improve on this trajectory. So the only thing that I'm learning from this is, so far, just from what he's saying here, is if the actions that she's talking about is you literally actually hurting somebody, you know, they're using the safe words and you ignoring it, consensual. It sounds like whatever you went through was like, okay, now I'm going to just start listening. Like the strides that you learn here isn't like something, in my opinion, at least, that requires therapy. Consent is not something that you need to learn. Either you do it or you don't. If someone says don't do it and you do it, there's no like months of therapy that you need to kind of figure out to, that's what you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the whole point of like biting someone and then hurting them kind of thing. Like I'm a little confused by it. I hope you guys are kind of reading to me. I'm not trying to knock the concept of growth and therapy here, but the point being made here is literally consent. And you either just choose to respect someone's consent or you don't. And I don't feel like there needs to be some type of learning curve for that. Anyway, he continues and he says, the allegation of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Throughout our relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text message exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. Okay, so he's saying that this was something that she was cool with. I truly believe those personal messages exchanged just reflect mutual affection and understanding. Out of respect for her, I choose not to publish them and emphasize my perspective is not shared to diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. So he has text messages and proof here saying that she consensually was okay with all of these love bites, apparently, and she is saying that she was not. In this situation, I think it's probably important to provide it. Like, I get you don't want to be on trial when it comes to Twitter on the internet and put out these kind of like details. You just don't want to be that person. My guess is that this was something that was originally playful. Biting is something that, you know, lovers do in the bedroom all the time, and then it just kept escalating kind of thing. Like something where, you know, sometimes like, hey, you're biting too hard kind of thing. And it seemed like it was playful, escalating, and it got to a point where it started turning abusive is what she's saying. And he's saying that, yeah, I thought we were all okay with this. Anyway, he said, instead, I shared in hope that I can offer a genuine, fair, and relevant insight into my understanding of the situation. While I may perceive our interactions differently, I recognize that this person has processed and expressed feelings of hurt. I want to extend my serious apologies for any pain that I caused. Perception. Interesting word choice as well, okay? The perception of the interactions. I think objectively, if you look at a situation, we just need to know what is actually true or false. Did this person say stop? Did this person use a safe word? Okay, that's it. Did this person draw a line at any point, and then did you cross it? Okay, there's no perception here where the objective truth is if someone drew a line and then you crossed it and went over that line, then that's it. There's nothing subjective or something that you can perceive from this that will be different from just quite literally in consent. Anyway, I'm fully committed to understanding and addressing your concerns going forward. I hope my perspective sheds light on the situation without detracting from his message. I am dedicated to earning and maintaining the trust of those around me, and I hope I continue to be held to these standards I wish to attain and maintain will. This, not a good apology. That's, oh boy. I mean, I've been giving you guys my thoughts on it as it's going by, but this one leaves me with more questions than before. And it also makes me feel like, I don't know. It makes me feel like what she's saying is kind of being demeaned here, right? She's not saying that she feels like she got hurt. She's saying that she did. She's not saying from her perspective, things went this way. She's saying it actually went to the point where she said no and you kept going, right? Like, this is not something where we can play around with the concept of perspectives, okay? If she's objectively saying this is specifically what happened, you need to be coming here and saying it did not happen or it did happen and I shouldn't have done that and I'm sorry. No dilly-dallying with perspectives here. And since this apology, the internet people everywhere, all in the Minecraft YouTube space, have basically been shunning Wilbur. Like, this is something that everyone has been standing on Shelby's side for. You've got someone here saying in the replies that a majority of this is full of ways you've claimed to have grown and changed since this happened, but you basically made what should be an apology of the pain. You call someone about yourself while barely saying anything else about it, and that speaks volumes. Brooke here saying, people are allowed to revoke consent at any time, plus no accountability equals shit apology. Dream had made a tweet. Dream responded to this situation. She said she withdrew consent using a safe word and that she frequently would intentionally bite down harder afterward to the point that she would scream, even isolated from everything else. That is clearly abuse. While reading this, I was waiting to see you talk about the issue to say anything at all, only to finish reading and find out you didn't acknowledge it once. I really don't understand how you thought this was accountability or an apology or even an informative statement. This did serve as confirmation she was talking about you, which I'm glad to have. You take accountability for being slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish, and it seems those are things you acknowledge as past problems while overshadowing the physical abusive actions and claiming to be completely reformed now. You seem to truly think you did nothing abusive, and this statement is built on that foundation. You are being dishonest with yourself or dishonest with us or both. You describe these acts as consensual without refuting her complete revocation of consent through your agreed upon safe word. A word set with the purpose of explicitly ending consent. She trusted you with the safe word as a boundary. You shattered that trust. Me and Dream saying the exact same things. We're both on the same team. Who would have ever thunk? Here's another popular Minecraft YouTuber by the name of Tubbo, who has millions and millions of subscribers. These people are huge, guys. If you don't know who these guys are, it means because you're not in the Minecraft space, but it's absolutely large and it's important because there's a huge audience and fan base backed behind all of these people. So it's important. It's refreshing and nice to see all of these large creators coming in here and standing for Shelby and then also condemning this apology that was created by Wilbur.
I was informed about this like a few minutes before going live, so forgive me if I don't have my thoughts 100% clear in my head, but I read through it and like, bro, I made me so angry. I actually couldn't. Like, sorry, it's getting me. You don't need to spam hearts, bro. Like, no, all I'm saying is like, look, you might think I have a very biased perspective when it comes to it comes to this kind of stuff. No, but like, truth be told, the amount of times I've spoken to Wilbur in private could be counted on maybe 2 hands. And yeah, I'm not biased in this. I think that response was fucking vile. I'm like, how the hell can you make how the hell can like this be about you, bro? Like, I literally don't want to say. I want to make something very clear. There is this is, if anyone in this channel or any viewer in this stream, if any chatter in this stream or any person in this like community ever thinks about defending domestic abuse or anything like that, or anything in that vein, or anything that fucking serious, all right? You have no place here. And I want you to unfollow and I want you to leave.
Yeah, Tubbo is pissed off, rightfully so. He was much closer with the parties involved. So you guys, this is the Wilbur situation in a nutshell. There's plenty of tweets, people coming out and talking about the situation. You've got Rambo. You have a lot of people from the Minecraft space coming up there and standing for Shelby and shunning Wilbur for his apology. Like, again, the situation that I keep communicating, it seems like everyone is echoing here, right, is that this very, very short 2-paragraph response here felt like it was just dodging all freaking accountability, right? And it did not seem like he acknowledged what occurred and then said sorry for it and tried to move on. It felt like he was trying to confront. It felt like I was getting gaslighting, right? If it felt like someone had did AI and was like, hey, AI prompt, how do I make an apology without actually admitting that I did something but still work around it? It felt very dishonest. And I wish he would have provided more receipts. I wish it would have been more than just 2 pages. I wish her claims were pretty freaking huge, okay? And at the end of the day, a lot of people want to joke about the concept of his biting. When I first heard about this, I was like, biting? What do you mean biting? There's no way that like biting somehow turns abusive. When I first just heard about the concept, like, what the hell? Why is this a big deal? And I looked more and more into it and I was like, oh, okay, this was inconsensual. Oh, he was leaving bruises. Oh, he was poking at the bruises. Oh, there was a safe word and he was ignoring the safe word. That's just as encroaching as it gets. And as being a woman in that situation, and people want to joke or make fun of it or say something compared to other domestic abusive situations, okay, for her, this could be absolutely terrifying when her being a previous sexual assault victim gets to the point where the new person that she is with is literally pinning her down and saying, wow, I am so strong. Ha ha ha. I could do whatever the hell I want to you if I wanted to. Like, that's bro, that's really fucked up. But yeah, guys, this is the Wilbur Soot situation in a nutshell. I'll let you guys know if there's any advances, if he responds back again. I don't know what it is. This is not a situation where he's getting canceled, okay? This is quite literally a serious allegation that has not been responded to properly. And if he says anything else, I'll let you guys know. But it's not looking good for Wilbur. And I hope Shelby, I'm glad that she actually spoke out about it. And I agree with her. Okay. When women are getting abused like this, I feel like they need to be empowered to speak out about their situations. Okay. This is something that I would not want them to hold in silence, and proud of her for doing so. Guys, you want to talk about the economy for a little bit? Okay. You want to talk about money for a little bit? You guys want some finance, Omni, for a little bit? Okay. Because things are getting absolutely crazy here, especially in the United States, man. Let me give you guys a few quick stories that are all kind of tied together right here. One of them being where Spook again has told me about the price hikes that are kicking our ass. If you guys do not know, Wendy's, popular food chain restaurant, I don't know if you guys have it in other countries, okay, most infamously known for their Frosties, okay, super good and tasty. And then they got the burgers, they got the 4-piece spicy chicken nuggets. You know, it's Wendy's used to be my spot, but apparently they are going to be playing around with hiking the price based on surge and activity. There was one tweet here that said Wendy's will start experimenting with surge pricing in 2025. Along the lines of Uber and Lyft, Wendy's will test dynamic pricing on burgers, Frosties, and other menu items, which will cost more during times of increased demand. So basically, you have to go to a Wendy's on off hours, not during let's time or not during dinner time or something, in order for, so they're going to charge you more if you eat during times where people normally eat. That's insane. Is that something that occurs? Is that like at this big level at a chain restaurant? There's no way this ends well for them, right? I can understand like surge pricing when it comes to like Ubers, right? Because during surge prices, there's more traffic. You have to spend more gas, okay? If it's rainy outside or there's a hurricane or terrible weather, I can see the point of charging people more money for deliveries or for Uber Eats or for driving people left and right, because the conditions become harder and more stressful. But now you're doing it for food? Like, I don't know about this, bro. This seems like if this was something that got adopted by Wendy's and then started getting adopted by a whole bunch of other places, it's not good for the consumers. It's not good for you to not have a set, stable price of, hey, 4-piece nuggets but it sounds like Wendy's is struggling, and that's why they're hiking up their prices. Speaking of hiking up their prices, other tweet that showed me was that Netflix is expected to raise prices on streaming plans this year. Analysts basically come to the conclusion that Netflix will be hiking up their prices even more. Okay, they've been doing so for the past 2 years. They've gotten rid of the whole sharing thing where people were sharing all of their accounts. Netflix has basically just been trying to reduce how many people are using their services for free and then also charging you more. This is also missed of us talking about like services like Crunchyroll, who's going to be start charging you $100 a year to use their services, which is 100% increase what they originally charged, 50%. Things are becoming way more expensive. Housing market is still terrible. Interest rates are still going up. Housing markets aren't dropping. Things are becoming so much more expensive, and inflation is just going absolutely wild. But you know what's not changing? Your salary, okay? Your hourly wages. How much money you receive is not going up at the same rate that everything else is going up, and is making it people harder and harder for them to save money. It's making it harder for them to invest and put money elsewhere, to put it in other places. It's making it much more difficult for the middle class and the upper middle class. People who are in the upper middle class who are making $100,000 in certain places feel like their money's not doing nothing because they have to rent forever and ever. They can't save, and everything that they make for the month is just going towards groceries and foods and necessities and rents that just keep getting hiked and hiked. And a lot of people are getting frustrated and upset that this economy continues to suffer more and more, to the point where a lot of people feel like the middle class and upper class middle is getting wiped out. It's getting to the point where you're just either lower class or you're upper class. You're either the elite and you're doing extremely well, and you're the piece of people who own the houses, and you're renting out to the lower class. These guys here that can't escape the rat race and the rat bubble of whether it's expenses or debt, or basically having enough money to put food on the table and then basically being able to use the rest of the money to to live or own equity or to invest. It's frustrating. I've been hearing this all the time on my Patreon. I have a Patreon where I talk to a lot of people when it comes to finance and how to invest and all of that stuff. Patreon.com/InfernoOmni. I talk to them. There's a lot of people who are extremely frustrated with the state of the economy right now and are trying to figure out what they need to do or what they can do to break out of it. Speaking of the economy, one thing you guys probably need to know is Bitcoin. I know a lot of people hear the concept of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and they eventually just shrug it off. Okay, I'm here to let you guys know, don't do that. All right, if you guys care about money or making money or finance in any kind of capacity, you need to understand what's happening here. Do not freaking ignore it. Okay, and also please be careful and tread lightly. Watch Guru and a lot of you guys asked me, just kind of covered it really fast, but Bitcoin just broke $60,000, which is absolutely astronomical because only just in this past week alone, I believe it jumped from $50,000 to $60,000. That kind of increase is astronomical, bro. If you had money in Bitcoin, now you have a lot more money in Bitcoin. And it seems like what people are calling a bull run is only going to keep going up and up. And I'm going to explain to you why this impacts you, whether or not you have cryptocurrency or not. The LDR that I'll give you guys here without going into full detail is that Bitcoin is an asset that is now kind of being legally looked at as an entity, as a financial investment vehicle. Top exchanges around the world have got approved what's called a spot ETF, an exchange traded fund. Essentially, the big brokers and business and the normie peoples are now able to buy into Bitcoin. Okay, they can now do so through these ETFs, through companies like BlackRock and Fidelity. And you go on there and you can literally start acquiring Bitcoin through these exchanges. And ever since this happened from the past couple of months, Bitcoin has been spiking and spiking and spiking and spiking and spiking. Average consumer and more retailers and whales are trying to dump all of their money into Bitcoin, where people are feel like this just them gobbling. This is a bull run. A bull run is when something just goes up for a really long time that some people feel is going to get to the point where Bitcoin goes up to $100,000. Like that's what their people are saying. And back when it was at $20,000 and people were saying Bitcoin is a joke, that was only a couple of months ago. Bitcoin around September of last year, I believe, or even a little bit before that, was only at $20,000 and people thought it was fading out. Now it's tripled and people feel like it's going to quadruple 5 times. Okay, this is absolutely crazy what's happening here. The last time I remember this kind of like volatility was back in the whole GameStop days and AMC. Anyway, for those of you guys wondering why Bitcoin is acting so crazy, okay, I've already explained one. The spot ETFs has made it much more popular. People are talking about it. Normal people are consuming it. And a lot of these hedge funds and corporations are trying to gobble up as much Bitcoin as possible because there is a limited, finite supply of Bitcoin. Number 2, there's a very special event that's happening very soon with Bitcoin that makes it pretty unique called the halvening. One of my favorite websites, Investopedia.com, describes the key takeaways with it very easily and very quickly. A Bitcoin halvening event occurs when the reward for mining Bitcoin transactions is cut in half. Halving reduces the rate at which new coins are created and thus lowers the available amount of new supply, which means that supply will become lower. And if you guys know the basic law of supply and demand, lower supply, higher demand, okay? Bitcoin has halved on May 11th, that was 2020, 4 years ago, resulting in a block reward of 6.25. You don't need to worry about that number. The final halving is expected to occur in about 2140 when the number of Bitcoins circulating will reach the theoretical maximum supply of 21 million. So the reason why people are now excited for this bull run is because it was back in 2020, there was a similar bull run as well, okay? When it comes to Bitcoins, there are crazy ups and then there are crazy downs. Downs are the bear markets when the money just keeps dropping and dropping. So this seems to be something that is the second signal for why this is happening. And finally, the third signal, liquidations against people who have been shorting the market, okay? Do you guys remember the whole GameStop thing that happened years ago? And there's like a hedge fund that was shorting GameStop. The whole concept of shorting is basically betting and saying, you know what? I think this company sucks. Or you know what? I think this cryptocurrency sucks. I think I'm going to bet on the fact that its stock value or its price will drop. And if it does, you make more and more and more money from it. That's what it's called, a short and like basic layman's term. You have hedge funds and big companies and whales and corporations are linked. This bull run is going to be, it's going to stop eventually, right? So now I'm going to short the market and bet that it's going to drop, because if it does drop, you then make a lot of money on that successful bet. However, if you short the market and it goes up, a lot of these shorts are leverage. What it means to be leveraged, and I'll wrap this up for you guys who are falling asleep, is that you borrowed money. You didn't use your own funds when it came to creating your short position. So what ends up happening is if you bet that it goes down and that bad boy goes up, you start losing money. And if it goes up enough, it creates this kind of waterfall cascade effect where you lose all of your money. And not do you just lose all the money that you put in, you lose your leverage as well. And the people who sent you the money to kind of make that bet say, hey, bro, I got a call. It's me. You owe me some money. You bet, you lost. Come send it to me before I break your kneecaps. That liquidation process actually then creates a cascade effect on the price. Instead of it going down, it actually kind of just goes up even more and it keeps spiking and spiking. So if a lot of people are shorting the market, it's called a squeeze, by the way. If a lot of people are shorting the market and then starts getting liquidated, it does the squeeze. This is what happened with GameStop, except for we were doing it in the opposite direction, where the hedge funds were the ones shorting and we, the consumers, were buying. There were actually other hedge funds that were buying too. But yes, in layman's term, those are kind of like the three reasons why there was $96 million of liquidations alone because of this huge increase. Only 2 days ago, the price of Bitcoin was at, $51,000. And now it has jumped to $61,000. It's not stopping and is absolutely terrifying. And people are wondering just how long this crazy bull run will last. That's finance, Omni guys, in a nutshell. If you were paying attention, the reason why this impacts you is because you need to know what Bitcoin is doing and what type of financial investment vehicle it is. Okay, people feel like it might be better than the dollar because you can't just print Bitcoin forever and forever. It is finite. Eventually it will run out and no one can own it. So that's why some people believe in it. But when you see hundreds of millions of dollars being circulated and moved, especially behind big players like big hedge funds now, this is becoming real stuff. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop. Okay. If you have Bitcoin, if you have cryptocurrency, be careful. You're in for a ride. If you want some finance advice, I can't provide that. Okay. I do talk about it again, like on my Patreon and then on the Discord, I talk about the things that are happening. I've been saying for months now for people who want to diverse their portfolio ever since, like, I had a Patreon post where I was like, hey guys, if you have cryptocurrency, I think dollar cost averaging is a very safe bet all in all. Be careful out on these streets, but yeah, there's something about to happen. It's about to be volatile. And if you got some extra cash, like trying to get people hip on these ETFs and the happening, all these things, right? Don't get FOMO. If you're not in the market, you don't come out here and start buying at the top or whatever. Okay, it's your money, do whatever you want, but be careful. It's going to create anxiety for people who feel like they're missing this train of becoming millionaires, right? And the same thing that happened last time where people were buying up high and then suddenly it would drop all the 20K. Please be careful. That's the biggest thing that I just want to share with everything that's occurring here. Be careful because it's very easy to lose money. It's also ways where you can make money as well. There are opportunities here as well. I'm not going to lie, but there's a lot of people who come here and start using their feelings and then they lose lots and lots and lots of money and ruin their lives. That's what's happening with the economy. I'll let you guys know. If you guys have any more questions or if you guys want to talk about more finance stuff, always just come and talk to me and ask me and I'll tell you what's happening around the world. Recessions happening all over the freaking world. S&P is at an all-time high. Yeah, we're not getting paid. I'll let you guys know this. I love this stuff, but and I like to include it more into the segment. Not only are people not getting paid enough, but there are massive layoffs happening. We've been talking for the past couple of weeks how major corporations around the entire freaking world have just been laying people off. And this one hurts even more because it's the gaming industry. This is the second, third, fourth, or fifth time we've heard about people, Xbox, Microsoft laying off people. So said more hitting the industry. Sony has announced layoffs affecting 900 staff, or about 8% of its global PlayStation workforce, as well as the closure of the London studio. This 8% number seems to be the common denominator, where it seems like a lot of these big corporations have been cutting at least 8% all the way up to like 15 to 16% of their workforce. And if your job is something that can be replaced with AI, then you got companies like, I forget what that one company is where that teaches you. It's not like Rosetta Stone. I think it's Duolingo, but they cut like 80%. Like people are getting laid off left and right in every single economic sector, and people are still not getting paid enough to do what they do. I want to reiterate that this is not a Sony thing. This is not a gaming industry thing. This is not just even a tech thing, okay? This is investors who were hoping that the market would be a lot different. People putting in a lot of money and hired a bunch of people during really, really good times, and then when the profit margins don't hit exactly where they hit, they cut off their big expense, which is people. So this is not just a, hey, we hate PlayStation or we hate Microsoft. Actually, interestingly enough, the only place where this is not happening in the game industry appears to be Nintendo. Nintendo was thriving. It is the #1 biggest, most successful company in Japan, and everyone seems to be happy and retaining their jobs there, but everywhere else around the world seems to be getting got. However, speaking of Nintendo, just when I was speaking their praises of how well they've been doing, epicness, and a lot of you guys asked me to talk about this. This is absolutely huge in the gaming space. Nintendo is suing Yuzu over Tears of a Kingdom, among other things. It seems like they're trying to get them to shut down entirely. Yuzu, if you guys do not know, is an emulator service that allows you to basically play Nintendo games if you have the, what's it called, the ROM file, okay? So, I mean, you can essentially access online files that allows you to play Nintendo games for free, you know, but what a lot of people say the legal way to do it is if you own any of these assets, you extract it, you can put it on your computer because it's yours. When you buy a game, it is yours, and you can extract those files, and then you can hold on to them on storage online, and then you can play them on emulators like Yuzu. Not everyone does that. Sometimes, for most people, a pirate's life is for me, and they just use that as a way to kind of like to steal, which I don't advocate. I'm not going to like act like a goody two-shoe and be like, I'm not going to snitch or nothing like that. But no, I don't really advocate that specifically. The issue that I think that a lot of people are worried about when it comes to Yuzu being shut down, preservation of gaming seems to be diminishing, and emulation seems to be the one and only thing that allows people to still maintain like an actual copy, something physically that allows them to own ownership of their games. They're trying to reach the dystopian future where actually no one actually owns a game. You just own the right or a license to play the game, and then suddenly they can just take it all away from you if they want. That's the decision they can do, and you don't actually truly own anything. It's always trying to own something through another person, a bigger corporation that owns things, and that seems to be the future that we're going in, and people are worried about that. This article from Dexardo says Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against a popular Switch emulator Yuzu, looking to shut down the program in the process. Why now? Over the last few decades, emulation has skyrocketed in popularity with fans of nearly all kinds of video game consoles. There's a questionable legal aspect to it, though, as many believe it directly promotes illegal piracy of games and new and old devices. Nintendo seems to agree with that idea as they filed a lawsuit against popular Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu and are looking for the company to cease all operation. This lawsuit was discovered by journalist Stephen Totio. Hey, we got another fellow Stephen, February 27th. And the lawsuit, Nintendo claims that Yuzu illegally circumvents Nintendo's software encryption and helps promote piracy. To back up the claim, the following notes that 1 million copies of Tears of the Kingdom were downloaded before release. Oh my God. Holy moly. 1 million copies of Tears of the Kingdom were downloaded before. Holy. Now look, guys. Someone might say, but Omni, maybe those 1 million people pre-ordered the game and so they, I don't know about that, homie. The 1 million copies before you actually owned the game, and then that's $1 million times. What was the price point of Tears? Was it 79? Was that the one that was 79? $80. Let's just say $80, right? $80 times 1 million. That's $80 million in potential lost revenue. Oh, that's a lot of money. I can see Nintendo, I can see them getting kind of pissed off by it. It reads here, Nintendo is looking for damages for Yuzu's alleged violations and wants the emulator to shut down entirely. Neither Yuzu nor Nintendo have commented publicly about the lawsuit or the claims behind it. However, we'll be sure to update you as the case continues to evolve forward. I want to look more into this lawsuit really fast. How much are they suing for? What are the damages? It reads here, says notes, 1 million copies of Tears of the Kingdom downloaded prior to the game's release, says that Yuzu's Patreon support doubled during that time, basically arguing that this is proof that Yuzu's business model helps piracy flourish. So Yuzu is getting paid big buco duco dollars to help pirates pirate. Now, Now the question is like, is this Yuzu's fault or is this the pirate's fault? Because owning an emulation software is not a problem, okay? The conduit itself is not the actual problem, as crazy as this actually sounds, okay? Because you are legally allowed to do this if you own a copy of your games. It's absolutely freaking legal. What makes it illegal is when people use this software to do it illegally, and Yuzu makes it very, very easy for this to be done illegally. So is it Yuzu's fault or is it the person who did it illegally's fault? Now, before some of you Nintendo nerds come in here and start being like, leave the multi-million-dollar corporation alone. Okay, it's not just that they lost some money. Okay, Nintendo has been trying to shut down emulation for a very long time. Okay, not just straight up like, hey, we want to protect our assets. They're also trying to stop people from the preservation of owning games. So I wanted to bring this side of the story too, as well. It says, do yourselves a favor and read the whole thing. Okay, Yuzu guys suck, yes, but there's some bad statements from Nintendo here. They don't want emulation legal at all, and they want to be the sole vendors of retro games forever. This isn't just about Yuzu, and yeah. Reads here, and to be clear, there is no lawful way to use Yuzu to play Nintendo Switch games, including because it must decrypt the game's encryption. Followed by, in short, the ability to play older Nintendo games on newer Nintendo devices is an important market for Nintendo today and going forward. Nintendo wants to be the only people and the only way that you can play own games. Nintendo does not want you to actually own their assets. They want to be the emulator themselves. And even as the emulator, where you can play all of their old school games, you still don't own the game. It's like on Nintendo Switch Online. It's a subscription license service. You still just don't actually have it. These companies and these corporations are trying to remove your physical ability to access things that you have acquired legally and make it so that you can only access through their specific revenue and their avenues so that you keep paying them for what you've already owned. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening with Yuzu at the moment. Okay, they're getting sued. A lot of people feel what's going to happen is whether Yuzu wins or loses, Nintendo, like I just said, got millions and billions of dollars, and the legal fees that are going to be pushed onto this could just put Yuzu to the point where they just bleed dry and they run out of money. It's not even about whether they win or lose, if they're right or wrong. They just don't have enough money to keep fighting back against this giant that is Nintendo. I'll let you guys know how it progresses. From what I understand, Nintendo has done this a few times where they've just basically used their money to lean in on illegal fees and then just drain projects dry to the point where they just couldn't compete and couldn't handle the legal fees. It might even get to court. It might even not get fought or settled. They just might not be able to survive Nintendo, the giant, leaning in with their lawyers and their money and extending things in times. They just might not be able to survive the process because that's kind of unfortunately how it works. I'll let you guys know how this develops though. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Do me a favor, leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and yeah, come join my Patreon if you guys haven't. My last video got completely destroyed because it got age restricted. Oh my, I gotta be careful what I speak about, okay? I can't talk about everything, it appears. So if you guys want to come support me there, you can come support your gang. But yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll cover some more stories and stuff for you guys this Friday. I'll also be playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, probably tonight on Twitch. I think it comes out tonight or today, and tomorrow all day as well. So if you want some more Omni in your life, you can find me there. I'll catch you guys later. You stay safe on the streets because them streets are not safe. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Peace.